Hi there guys, so welcome to my channel once again. So today we are going to do Premier League predictions for game week 31. So here are my predictions. So the first game will be Arsenal against Everton. So Everton were beaten recently by Liverpool 1-0 at Anfield. And David Moyes, to be honest, David Moyes has done quite a lot with Everton right now. So I'm going to say this will be a close one because Everton will be at home and Arsenal, the visiting team. I'm going to say this will end in a draw of 1-1. Arsenal 1, Everton 1. So Newcastle against Crystal Palace against Brighton. Brighton were also beaten and Crystal Palace are also in a quite somehow run of form. So I'm going to say this will be a narrow Crystal Palace win 1-0. So Ipswich against Wolves. So Ipswich won their last game and also Wolves won their last game. This will be a relegation battle between the 18th team and the 17th team. So I think this will end in a 1-1 draw. West Ham against Bournemouth. Bournemouth were also beaten recently by Ipswich Town. I know it's hard to believe, but Ipswich beat Bournemouth. And West Ham, Graham Potter is doing quite a job there, but it's currently not working because they are missing their star players, the likes of Mohamed Kudus, Lucas Paqueta, and all the other players. So Bournemouth are also pushing for top 4 this season, or a Champions League spot, or a European spot to say. And I think even though West Ham will be at the London Stadium, I think Bournemouth will have an edge on them and win this comfortably 3-1. Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are quite a team to reckon with. They beat Manchester United, the likes of Anthony Elanga scoring. Nottingham Forest are also pushing to finish at least second ahead of Arsenal if they can in the remaining 8 games. So I'm going to say this will be, and also Aston Villa are also pushing for a Champions League spot again this season so that they may remain consistent in their seasons. So I'm going to say Aston Villa 1, Nottingham Forest 2. So Chelsea against Brentford. So Brentford were also beaten by Newcastle with Sandro Tonali scoring an absolute banger of a goal. I don't know how he did that, or I don't know. I posted about it. Go check my videos, my most recent videos. I posted about the Sandro Tonali video, or I'm going to pin it to my profile so you may see. He scored a stunner of a goal. And also Chelsea also won yesterday against Tottenham Hotspur with the likes of Enzo Fernandez scores. And also Moses Caicedo scored an absolute banger of a goal, but it was ruled out. It was a watchable game, if I might say, but I think this might end up in a draw because Brentford at the GTEC Stadium are quite a hard team to beat. The likes of Brian Mbeumo Wissa will be all over the pitch, and Chelsea are not quite comfortable at the back right now. And I'm going to say Brentford 1, Chelsea 1. So Liverpool against Fulham. Liverpool beat Everton 1-0 at Anfield, the likes of Diogo Jota scoring. And also Fulham were also beaten in the last game week 30. I'm going to say this will be a Liverpool win. And also as they draw nearer and nearer to the Premier League title, there are remaining 4 games for Liverpool to win the Premier League title. So this will be a win for Liverpool 2-0. Tottenham Hotspur against Southampton. Southampton, to say the least, they are already relegated this season, and Spurs are quite terrible this season. They are 14th in the league right now. So I'm going to say Spurs will win this, even though they were beaten yesterday by Chelsea. I think they will edge Southampton. Southampton are quite a weak team. Yeah, and they will win this 2-0 with the likes of James Maddison and Dominic Solanke scoring. Manchester United against Manchester City is the old-fashioned Manchester derby. Manchester United lost to Nottingham Forest with their former player Anthony Elanga scoring. So I'm going to say this will be a Manchester City that won the last game with the likes of Grealish scoring and also Omar Mamouche. Even though they don't have Haaland, I'm going to say this will be a Manchester City win, even though they will be at Old Trafford. Omar Mamouche to score, and also, if you have not heard, Kevin De Bruyne will be leaving at the end of the season, so they will want to make it a special season for Kevin De Bruyne before he leaves by beating their rivals, their city rivals Manchester United in the good old-fashioned Manchester derby. The last game of game week 31, Newcastle against Leicester City. Leicester City, here's a quick fact about Leicester City. They have lost 15 of their last 30 games in the Premier League. That is the worst season they have had in a long time. Newcastle are in a good run of form. The likes of Alexander Isak scoring, Sandro Tonali scoring. I already told you about the Sandro Tonali goal. Alexander Isak also broke a record whereby he scored in back-to-back. He has scored 20 goals in back-to-back seasons. This is after a long time of waiting for that kind of striker. Alan Shearer was the first one to do it. Now Alexander Isak has done it. And there's also rumors that he will be leaving Newcastle. Yes, I think he will leave to either Liverpool, Arsenal, or any other team that he wants to go to. And also, Newcastle have won their first trophy in 70 years. That is quite an achievement for him. And he will be comfortable leaving because he will have cemented his status at the club as a club legend, as he also scored in that final against Liverpool. So I'm going to say this, Newcastle will win this no problem, as they are currently 5th with a game in hand. So I think Newcastle might finish top 4 this season ahead of Manchester City and Chelsea. So I think Newcastle will win this 2-0. So thanks for watching, guys. That is my Premier League predictions. Let me know your Premier League predictions down below in the comments. Catch you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you on the next one.